Welcome to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be having a look at BTC. Let's get into the charts and see what's going on. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is the idea that we were talking about yesterday. We were saying that we had possibility of an additional fourth and a fifth here. Now it is still possible we could see a move to the upside here, where we're still looking for this possibility of a fifth wave here. Now we have come down already into this 236 and the center channel line like we were discussing yesterday. But there hasn't really been enough move to the upside here for us to confirm that this is actually completed. What we need to be cautious of is that within the other count that we're following, there is the potential that we actually finished over here, and we're looking for that potential of a deeper retracement where we're looking to actually potentially come down towards this 28,693 to this 26,000 level. So it is possible we could be starting to build some corrective structure to the downside here, but really until we actually lose this previous fourth wave location here, I would be looking out for that potential of a move to the upside for that fifth. Now the way that we'd be looking for that as actually taking place is actually looking to extend up here. So if we had to move up from our current location here, what we'd actually be looking for as a target would be this level here of this 32,942 to this 32,216 region. So if we are looking at this currently, like I said, we don't have enough structure here to say that this is actually, looking to progress up here. What I'd like to see is if this is 1-2, potentially another 1-2 here, what we want to see is to start to break above these highs here of this 31k region and then actually start to form some good 5-wave structure up here. The key thing is, obviously, if we are saying that the fifth wave is starting from this point, we cannot cross this 29,963 level again. Now, we will also talk about a couple of ways of looking at this as a corrective pattern to the downside here and what this could actually look like. So I'm going to go over a couple of them. So what we were talking about was the idea of an A, B, and a C. So this is technically still possible here. Now we could actually see something like this, where this is our A wave here. We have this as the B wave. And then what we could be actually looking for is still being within this C wave. So within this, what I'm looking for is effectively the idea that we have this as a diagonal within here, where we're looking at this as 1, 2, looking for a third, fourth, and a fifth. Now it'd be very early to say this is a diagonal because we would effectively only had this wave here. Now the reason why I'm looking at this is if we actually drag this down to the bodies here, we can see that with this interaction zone, it has actually played out into this top trend line. Now alternatively, we could also argue it's something like this, in which case we could see price move a little bit higher here. Now the invalidation of this would be this B wave at this 31,045. Until we actually break above that, we need to just be careful because there are still some potential bearish ways that we can look at this move. So in this case, what we'd actually be looking for would be for a 3-wave move to the upside, which we seem to have here so far. If this then moves down in 3 waves and we actually break this low of this 29,963, what I'd be looking for would be potentially coming into this zone here of this 29,734 to this 29,911 area. So if we do see price actually come back down here in 3 waves, this could tie into the idea of having a diagonal pattern, something like this. Now, if this is the case, what we would want is to see a contracting wedge forming here. This is why I'm thinking, if we are looking at a diagonal, it would be more likely that it is looking at this trend line in this way. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. 3 waves down like this, 3 waves back up, and 3 waves down could potentially mean we see something like this play out as a diagonal. So we can see here that the 1236 could align with coming back into this channel, and this 1382 and this 786 of this wave over here align currently to where they could actually have an interaction down here. So I'll be keeping an eye on this. If we do actually look to break down and take this low, if it's in 3 waves, what we could actually see is something along these lines where we get this diagonal, and then from there what we'd have to see is how we actually react to the upside, because the danger with something like this is if we're getting this as A, B, and C, that's fine, but we could also have this as an additional 1, and then we get a 3-wave move up for a 2, and then we have a bigger breakdown. So if we have a move like this where this is A, B, and C as a diagonal, what we need to do for the bullish count is actually break back above this high here of this 31,426. So we need to get back above this high, because for as long as we stay below that, there's always the potential we could actually see extension. Now, the other way that we could look at this move is that potentially this is a W, an X, and a Y. Now, this would be treating this move slightly different, where we actually look to subdivide this on the internals here where we say this is ABC, this is a B wave up, and then this is a C wave. So A, B, and C. Now, within this, we've actually hit this 1-to-1, which we were talking about, coming down to, which was this 30,036. So we need to just keep an eye on this. If we do look to start rejecting down deeper, we need to just be careful. If we form something like this, A, B, and C, and we actually move back up into this 31,111 area to this 30,688 level in a three-wave structure, this could actually align with actually getting a bigger corrective move where this becomes A, this becomes B, and this becomes a bigger C wave, where we could actually look to break down towards this 29,422 in a more sideways corrective manner. Now, this would more align to the idea that we were completed into the high over here, and that we're looking to potentially start this move back down here, looking to target out this area of this 28,693 to this 26K region. So this is why I'm saying, we need to just be looking out for this potential here that this could already be completed and we could be starting to move down here. However, really until we actually lose that zone of this 50% really, by size is going to invalidate this more than anything. If we are still looking at an additional fourth and a fifth, I'd like to see this actually play out from this point here. Potentially one more drop would be fine, but time-wise it would still be starting to get quite big compared to that wave 2. So I want to see this start to move away from this if this is the case. Now, the target, like I said, is this 32,942 to this 32,216 level. If we want to be looking at the possibility that we actually have a flat correction and this is our C wave completed, what we need to be careful of here is the potential of a bigger breakdown. So looking at this move in a slightly different way, what we could argue is that we have 1, 2 here. We have this as a diagonal, expanding diagonal for a wave 1, looking for this as a wave 2. But now what we need to see for confirmation of this would actually be a deeper move here. Now, what we would want to see within the structure here is that if this is a 1, 2, we need to actually see a deeper move here. So our 1.618 currently would actually be looking to bring us down towards this zone of this 28,884. Now, if we do see a move down into this level, this could actually tie into the idea of getting a bigger 5-wave structure here, where this becomes 1, 2, we get 1, 2 here. This becomes a bigger 3rd, 4th, 5th, and then we'd be looking for an additional 4th and a 5th. So something like this could potentially look to push us down into this 28,440 level to this 28,108 level. And if we did see something along these lines, what we'd have to be very cautious of is that if we do get a 5-wave move off these highs, what this could then be is this could be an A wave or a wave 1. Now, if we do get something like this, we'd be on the lookout for that potential of a 3-wave move up and then that continuation down. So this is talking about the potential of coming back down here deeper, looking to actually target the top of this channel line and looking potentially for this zone of this 27,139 to this 26,935. The problem is if we do see a 5-wave move down here, we need to be careful that it is not the bigger potential of that C wave, which if I just actually come back out here onto the 4-hourly, where we're talking about that potential that we could actually see either a 3-wave move down if we're looking at this as W, X, and then A, B, C, or Y, in which case 26,205 is going to be our target area. Alternatively, if we want to treat this rather as A, B, and C, and we actually get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what we could actually see is price rather come down towards this zone of this 25,067 to this 23,373 level. So this is why we need to be careful with this. If we do get this 1, 2, 1, 2 here, and we start to break down for 4, 5, 4, 5, we need to watch that retracement up. If that fails to take this high, we need to just be on the lookout for that continuation. And then if this move starts to extend out too deep, it starts to become a little more likely that actually what we have playing out here is the potential for this C wave here down towards these lower levels. So this is going to be key within this price action. We need to see whether we actually start to break down in a bigger way like this. Now, I'm actually going to come back in here, and what we're going to do is go over some CPR. So we had some new weekly CPRs printed as of yesterday. So we're going to turn these on and have a look. So what we can see is that we're currently above these CPR lines. Now, we do have the top of this line here at this 29,929. We have this level here, 29,379, and this 28,848 region. So as long as we remain above these, we have the potential to actually see price gravitate towards these S1 lines sitting at this 32,512, the 34,566, and this area here of this 37,684 region. So because of the fact that we are above these, we do have the potential we could see price move up here. If we do look to push down again here, I would be interested to see if we manage to hold this central line here. This would align potentially with, you know, coming down a little bit deeper here for something like this as a B, and then we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What I'd be looking for then is that idea that this is a corrective move, and then we need to see whether we actually push back up, take this high, or we get 3 waves up and then break down some more. Now, lower down here for this week, we have some targets at this 27,324, this lower level here of this 24,199, and this area here of this 22,173. So we can see that within these CPR ranges here, the downside targets that we have would kind of align with that idea of actually getting a 5-wave move down. And then this one up here is aligning with the idea that we could still have a 5th wave. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this and see how you know, the price actually reacts to these certain levels. Now, coming in here, we can see that on the daily, we're actually on the underside of these CPR lines. So if we do continue to reject from here and we fail to hold this R1 line, what I'd be looking for would be potentially moving down to this R2 line. If that fails, then we have this area here of this R3 line at this 29,378 and this lower level here of this 29K as possible targets for today. If, however, we do manage to hold this R1 line and we look to push back to the upside, what we could see is price could come back into this zone here of this 30,910. We have this 31,367 and this area here of this 31,697 as a possible S3 target, as well as this area of the 32,134 as that S4. So those would be our upside targets that would be potentially looking for if we do manage to break back above these central CPR lines here. But we just need to be aware of that bearish case that is still potentially on the cards. So now the monthly CPR, we are still between these two lines, the S1 and the S2. So if we do see price actually look to come back down deeper here, I would be interested to see how we react around this 29,411 area. Alternatively, if we do see that push to the upside that aligns with that 5th wave, we could actually see price get gravitated towards this 31,765. Now, we could also see price over the period of this month look to actually test out this 33,426 if we can manage to get above this S2 line. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on this and seeing whether we do continue to get some extension here to the upside, but we need to just be on the lookout for that possibility of that breakdown potential. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.